Hey, welcome to Computer Programming Fundamentals. I'm Professor O'Donoghue, and I will be your instructor this semester. And it may be confusing because on the course and on all the emails, it will list my name as well as Professor Kasimian, but I am the instructor for this course. So there are certain courses that he's the instructor and that I am the instructor, but both of our names appear on all courses. So just make sure you have the right person for the correct class. So let me tell you a couple of things about computer programming, how to be successful in this course. First of all, just be aware that this is a totally online course this semester. Due to COVID, everything will be done online. So that means you will do your programs at home. But what you will do is go onto Microsoft Teams to get them checked off by the lab assistants, and I will show you how to do that. But first, let's go through a couple of things in the course itself. So first of all, the first thing you need to do is go to Start Here, and there you will see some videos that you should watch, like this one should be there, all about the electrical and computer engineering technology program. That just gives you some information. Then you start getting to the meaty stuff, which is our course schedule, okay? So let's just open that real quickly. This course is very intense during the summer, so please keep that in mind. If you look at it, you will see that there is a ton of work that is due every day, okay? So just make sure that you understand that this class will require you to do assignments every day of the 8 weeks, okay? Because basically what we have to do is take all of the content that we would always teach and put it into 8 weeks. All right, the next thing you should look at is the syllabus. That gives the grading criteria and just lets you know how the course will run, what you need to know about the course, which I already said is online. We will meet online weekly on Thursdays from 1 to 2 through Teams, okay? So I'll tell you how to do that. There is no required textbook. I will show you some online resources for the book instead. And this is how your grade will be calculated. 50% is the grading, our grading assignments, 15% communication, participation. So that means going to the lab tutors, that's a part of communication and participation, as well as when we have our online classes, participating then. 20% is homework. Very important to do your homework so that you understand the concepts. 15% are tests, and tests will be taken at home, okay? So make sure you look over the syllabus. All right, you need to download code blocks. This is the IDE, Integrated Development Environment. Basically, is what you will use to compile, to type in your programs and compile them and run them. It's very important that when you go to download code blocks, you get the Ming W setup, okay? Make sure you get that one. You don't have to use code blocks. Some people use other compilers and IDEs, and that's perfectly fine, but the one that I'll be demonstrating when we're in class and in my videos is code blocks. So if you just want to be on the same page as I am, then I suggest you go ahead and download code blocks, okay? One of the first things that you need to do is to, oh, look what just popped up, okay? So Clift is on Microsoft Teams right now with a tutoring session, okay? So say you wanted to get some tutoring today on a homework, you could join his video right now on Microsoft Teams, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, making an appointment with me. All office hours will be video conference office hours, and you don't need a webcam to do a video conference or to go to the Microsoft Teams tutoring, okay? So keep that in mind. To make an appointment with me, you need to click on this Make an Appointment link, And then I have instructions. The one key thing that's different now than when I made these instructions is that there are two professors now, myself and Professor Kasimian. Make sure you click my name if you want to make an appointment with me, and his name if you want to make an appointment with him. Okay? Announcements are very, very, very important. Okay? This is how we communicate with you, being that we don't meet on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So make sure you look at your announcements. The calendar, it just has all of the assignments that I talked about from the course schedule. We just have them on the calendar, so it's easy for you to access them, but you can get a really good look at how much information there is. Online resources, very important, okay? You don't have a book, but the C programming language is very syntax driven. So you have to have some sort of resources that you go to in order to get information. And this is what you can use. You can buy a book if you want to. Any C book, C for Dummies would be good. Any type of C book would be great. But this is a free tutorial that lets you get all the information you need about C. So one of the first things you'll be doing are variables, which I don't see variables on this resource. So what you could do is go back to this one. So we have two of them, and there you go, variables and constants, all right? And so you go through and it will just give you information on variables, constants, inputs, outputs. That's the first week of class. So just make sure you use your online resources if you need them, because everything you need just may not be in the video that I have created. All right, now let's click on lessons. It's very important that you click on lessons and you kind of go through the information and not just click on the calendar, because on the calendar, if you just clicked on the calendar, say for introductory concepts, you wouldn't see all this information, and all this information is important. Okay, first you have the video. So this is the video that we have created about the topic. All right, so sometimes it's me, sometimes it's Carl, sometimes it's a video from YouTube that I think is really good. Then there are lecture notes. Okay, these are the notes that we will go over in class. So there is the version that's empty, and then there's the version that's completed. Okay, so you need to go through the lecture notes. Sometimes we don't cover that lecture in class. Then you have your homework assignments. Okay, so for this topic, you have two homework assignments: introductory concepts and computer basics. Now, after the due date, these two will disappear, and all you will see is the practice homework. Okay, so be aware of that. And I don't take work late, so make sure you get it in on time. All right. And then homework, we have class assignments. We won't have a lot of those, but I think we have a couple. So this is where the class assignments are located. Then you have your lab assignments. Okay. So first thing you need to remember about the lab assignments is that there is normally a lab quiz associated with each lab, and unless you earn a 60, an average of 60 or better, you will not be able to see the instructions to your lab assignment. Okay. Second, and your labs are basically your programs. Second, you have to have a 70% average on all your programs in order to pass this class. All right, so let's look in the lab assignments real quick. So your first lab assignment is going to be an orientation. And in this orientation, you are going to have to learn how to create a flowchart, which is so important in this class. You're going to create a flowchart that I give to you, and then you're going to create your own flowchart on how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Okay. After you finish with the lab, you have to go on to Teams, and you have to share your screen and run your program for the lab assistant or the lab tutor in order to get checked off. Also, the lab tutor will ask you some questions about the topics just to make sure that you have a clear understanding about the various topics. Okay, that's all we're going to talk about in this video. I'll make another video and I will talk about Teams, how to use Microsoft Teams. All right, take care.